Coming up on this episode of Heart of Vegas, we're showing you how the Las Vegas Philharmonic is inspiring students in our community to appreciate classical music and the performing arts. It's a field trip full of music and memories they won't soon forget. Then, we're telling you all about the best place to get up close and personal with the many amazing creatures that live in our desert habitat, while you experience the natural beauty and wonder of the Mojave Desert. Plus, find out how some very special furry friends are helping the visually impaired kids in our community learn to read. And finally, an exclusive interview with the superintendent of the Clark County School District, Pat Skorkowski, this episode's Heart of Vegas honoree. Stay tuned. That's all coming up on this episode of Heart of Vegas, brought to you by Cox Communications. To many visitors, Las Vegas is the world's playground, the city that never sleeps. But to the nearly 2 million people who call this place home, Las Vegas is so much more. A town of art and culture, natural beauty, vibrant youth, and incredible community spirit. Together, we celebrate it all. This is Heart of Vegas. Brought to you by Cox Communications, connecting you to your community. The Las Vegas Philharmonic is Southern Nevada's only professional symphony orchestra. Since being founded in 1998, they have played many incredible concerts in our community, but today's concert is a special one with a very special audience.
The British composer Benjamin Britten loved nature, and particularly rainstorms. So he gave himself a task: write a piece of music that sounds like a great winter storm. That sounds like music to me.
School bus after school bus pulls up to the Smith Center for the Performing Arts, where the Philharmonic performs its concerts. And one by one, the young concertgoers step off the bus and eagerly filter into the theater as excitement and anticipation builds for the performance.
This is a fun experience to be here. I like hearing classical music.
Yes, it is a special day. I don't get to see music in class.
For the last 16 years, the Las Vegas Philharmonic has invited 4th and 5th grade students from around the Clark County School District to be part of their week-long youth concert series, an incredible program that aims to expose thousands of students from underprivileged schools in the community to the wonder and joy of live classical music. It's the cornerstone of the Philharmonic's mission in the community, according to the Philharmonic's president and CEO, Jerry Crawford.
For me personally, the reward is to be able to reach so many children with music. Music education is not as strong as it has been in past years. I know most of my years in school were based with music, and we want to make sure that we're reaching these children and enriching their lives with this.
One thunder, it's very impressive, it's just one. But once again, and you gotta be with me. I faked you out. Let's try it again.
We work very closely with the Clark County School District Partnership Office. We work with them and the teachers in creating the curriculum each year. That curriculum goes to the students, so when they come to the Smith Center, they are totally prepared. They know how to dress, they know how to act, they know what to expect, they understand what the music is going to be. They have a little history and a little background.
The Prince is played by the solo cello, which sounds lower than the violin.
And And after the concert ends, the music education continues as students walk next door to the Discovery Kids Museum to participate in music-themed activities.
Right now we're in Young at Art. Young at Art allows them to be able to create a piece of artwork. So they're creating that piece of artwork by paying attention to the tempo in the music. If the tempo is high, then they are painting very quickly. If it's slower or lower, then they're painting very softly. And whatever masterpiece they create, they get to take home with them. So in the science side, we are actually looking at the science of music, how music affects a flame. So we've built an apparatus, it's called a Rubin tube, and it has flames coming all the way out of it. And as the music is played, based on the tempo of the music, the frequency, the pitch of the music, then that flame changes and you see a different wave. So they can actually see the science, the wave of the science of music by looking at that apparatus and studying with that facilitator.
After a fun-filled day of being immersed in music and culture, the students and their teachers realize what a special opportunity this field trip really is.
I think it's really special to get this opportunity. I thought it was a privilege. It was like extraordinary. So I'm really thankful to our music teacher that she's able to take us here.
It's special because sometimes children can see a different world through music. They use their imagination through music. Sometimes they do better at math through music. And some children, there are so many learning styles. Some children learn this way. And we want to make sure that they have an opportunity for this cultural exchange because music is a melody of the universe.
Las Vegas Philharmonic Youth Concert Series is part of the heart of Vegas because it enriches the students' lives and enriches our community.
Still ahead on this episode of Heart of Vegas, we're taking you to the birthplace of the Las Vegas Valley, where learning about conservation and sustainability is a fun activity for the whole family. Plus, an inside look at a local foundation where visually impaired children in our community can learn and grow in a safe environment. And stick around to hear how Superintendent Pat Skorkowski stays motivated while serving at the helm of the 5th largest school district in the country. That's all coming up right here on Heart of Vegas, brought to you by Cox Communications.
Cox Las Vegas is proud to support our community through Cox Charities, which awards cash grants to numerous civic and nonprofit organizations. Working in partnership with United Way, Cox Charities includes a committee of employees who review grant applications and select the deserving recipients. This year, 28 organizations shared $168,000 in grants funded by Cox Charities. We're proud of our continued support of the community. To learn more about Cox Charities, visit www.coxcharitiesLV.com.
Welcome back to Heart of Vegas. Here's a Las Vegas fun fact. Did you know that Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas was the first paved street in the city in 1925? And it also received the city's first traffic light in 1931. Nowadays, Fremont Street isn't just an iconic part of our city's glitzy history, it's also the center of a thriving downtown community. Now, back to Heart of Vegas, brought to you by Cox Communications, connecting you to your community. The area of Las Vegas quite literally sprung up in the middle of the Mojave Desert some 12,000 years ago when a grouping of springs bubbled up to the surface of the dry land. Even though the city has since grown into a major metropolitan area, our community has taken great care to preserve that special place from which it began. An area now called the Springs Preserve, with 180 total acres of preserved land and over 1,200 different species of plants. The Springs Preserve is a desert wonderland, open to the public year-round.
I was surprised when I first came. I didn't realize what was here, but it's definitely better than a zoo, I think, because you have more around you and the flowers bloom at different times, so every time you come, it's a different experience.
I think it's easy when you live in the city to forget about how the city came about and what really built up. So a place like this gives you a chance to look at the history, and more importantly, a chance to why our environment's important, why it's important to recycle and to save water, and what it really means in this desert.
The Springs Preserve is a place where Las Vegas residents and visitors can explore many interactive attractions and learn all about the desert from knowledgeable staff like zoologist Rachel Van Horn.
The Springs Preserve has been here for 8 years now, and I think it's something that we were really lacking here. You know, we offer the opportunity for people to come and see things that they had no idea lived in their backyard. So we've got plants and animals that maybe folks didn't even have any idea that they were native. And so they come here and they're able to see these things up close and personal and go home maybe and discover parts of Las Vegas that they had no idea lived there to begin with.
It's a little oasis because it's away from all the traffic and the strip, and I really like it. It's outdoors, it's fun, something to do, get out of the house, so I like it.
We typically come at least once a week. The kids like to come here. It's almost something that they expect to do. They always ask to come here, especially riding on the trains or just checking out all the exhibits. It's fun.
I really enjoyed walking through many of the exhibits and the explanations. As a child, I think that's a wonderful exposure that they wouldn't get anywhere else.
One of the most popular attractions within the Springs Preserve is the Desert Animal Exhibit.
In our collection, we have all native Mojave Desert animals. That means everything that lives here normally. So we have lots of lizards, we have invertebrates, things like tarantulas and scorpions, and we also have mammals. Most of the mammals that we have that live here are small, so that we have the smaller ones. We have cottontails and gray fox, some cute pocket gophers, kangaroo rats. And then in our lizards, the big, exciting ones always are Gila monsters, so we've got Gilas as well.
Gila monsters are the only venomous lizards indigenous to the United States. Seeing them up close and personal is an example of the kinds of hands-on opportunities at the Springs Preserve that get so many kids excited to learn more about science and their natural surroundings.
I'm having a lot of fun here.
They get so excited they want to take off and run. I'm like, slow down, we'll see everything. So it's incredibly exciting to see it up close and personal versus just seeing it in a textbook.
Another popular exhibit is the butterfly habitat, where guests can see hundreds of the iconic species in one room. It's one of the many immersive experiences at the Springs Preserve that the staff hopes will be an inspiration to the community.
I really hope that people, when they come, they learn a little bit more about the animals and develop a better appreciation for the environment and learn about conservation efforts and things that they can do at home just to help out. And specifically here at the butterfly habitat, not only are they learning about the butterflies, but they can also learn about different types of plants that you might be able to plant at home and create maybe their own little unique desert garden that would attract butterflies as well.
It's a similar passion for conservation and community awareness that drives all the staff at the Springs Preserve to do what they do.
I went into zookeeping and zoology because I have a profound love for the animals that live in this world. So if my goal is on a daily basis to inspire other people, the next generation of children coming up who think that they might be interested in animals, to really want to take care of them and protect them. So I kind of feel like if on a daily basis I can inspire one little kid to go home and say, I want to be a herpetologist or something like that, then I have really done a successful job at what I'm trying to do. The Springs Preserve is a part of the heart of Las Vegas because we provide that connection for our community with the desert around them.
Still ahead on this episode of Heart of Vegas, find out how the Nevada Blind Children's Foundation is providing crucial services to Las Vegas families with visually impaired children. And stay tuned as we hear from this episode's very special Heart of Vegas honoree, Pat Skorkowski.
Cox Las Vegas is proud to support our community through Cox Charities, which awards cash grants to numerous civic and nonprofit organizations. Working in partnership with United Way, Cox Charities includes a committee of employees who review grant applications and select the deserving recipients. This year, 28 organizations shared $168,000 in grants funded by Cox Charities. We're proud of our continued support of the community. To learn more about Cox Charities, visit www.coxcharitiesLV.com.
Welcome back to Heart of Vegas. Here's a Las Vegas fun fact. Did you know that our city's name, Las Vegas, is actually a Spanish phrase that translates to the meadows? And the name of our state is also derived from the Spanish language. Nevada means snow-capped, referring to the beautiful snow-capped mountain ranges throughout the state. Now, back to Heart of Vegas. Brought to you by Cox Communications, connecting you to your community. For children with visual impairments or blindness, going to school and connecting with other kids their age can be frustrating and complicated experiences. But for the visually impaired children in the Las Vegas community, they don't have to be. The Nevada Blind Children's Foundation was started in 2004 when parents of a child with blindness realized that Nevada is one of the only few states in the country without a school for the blind. In the last decade, this local nonprofit has made it their mission to help visually impaired children overcome the many obstacles they face in their young lives.
Our kids are going through Clark County School District, and there are a few vision teachers that are there, but they spend most of their days driving around to get to their students. The need is great for these services that are offered through the school district, and then we're trying to pick up the slack here at Nevada Blind Children's Foundation to really give these kids the educational support they need. It's a basis for their learning for the rest of their lives, and we're really hoping to get them all the way through high school and into higher education and find jobs for them out in the community. So these services are really important.
The Book Buddies program is one of the many specially designed learning experiences for visually impaired children that the foundation offers free of charge to any school-aged kids in the community.
So our Book Time Buddies program pairs each of our kids with certified therapy dogs. Really gets our kids excited about reading. It's hard, if you understand anything about Braille, it's like learning two different languages. So they have to learn how to read in English, spelled out, the way we spell everything, and then they also have to read a condensed version, so where it's contracted Braille. So it's really difficult, and sometimes it's not as much fun for our kids, but the key to their success is becoming literate. So we want to make sure that we make that a fun opportunity for them, and we really capture that and get them excited about it.
Oftentimes in the classroom, they're afraid to read out loud. They're a little bit slower than their peers. So this is a class that really gives them a chance to practice in a safe environment. And who doesn't love to read to dogs? The dogs are great teachers and great listeners.
We read with the dog, and it's pretty cool.
Across the river, go across the river, we're running across the river, around the pond, swimming, go! Oh,
the Book Buddies program is just one of the many amazing services the foundation offers. Other programs include sensory therapy to help them develop their other senses beyond sight, including touch, taste, smell, and sound, and an adaptive sports class that teaches them about fitness in a safe environment. But perhaps the most important thing the foundation offers is the opportunity for the visually impaired children to interact with one another in a supportive, fun environment.
You won't see them talk about what they can't do and what they don't have. They don't dwell on that. They come here and this is their time to be a kid and connect with their friends. And I think that's really what drives me, is that if they can come here and see past the disability and just have a normal childhood, to me that's a win across the board.
Help clean up. Okay, you're gonna do galloping like a horse. Go, galloping. Galloping.
It's a resource in the community that parents of children with blindness are eternally grateful for.
It is so great to have in the community. I mean, there's no other place I've found here that makes her feel like she's everybody else. I mean, she fits in here. I mean, she feels like this is her second home.
Because the foundation is a nonprofit, they are solely funded by grants and generous donations from the community. It's a labor of love that the staff says is changing lives every day.
It is so rewarding to know that you're working with a child that sometimes don't feel included at school, but they come here and they know that this is their soft place to fall, that we are surrounding them with love and everything we can do. They can be themselves, they can create friendships here, and hopefully carry on out into the world.
I need some scissors, dog. All right.
They're just like any other kid. They deserve all the chances in the world to be successful. And one of my favorite things about this place is seeing the smiles on their faces and hearing them laugh when they get to experience things that they don't outside of the classroom. You know, we do adaptive sports, we do special events that really give them a chance to do things that everybody else is doing, but we adapt it for them.
Nevada Blind Children's Foundation is a part of the Heart of Vegas because we make visual impairment a diagnosis and not a disability for the kids in our community.
Stay tuned for a special tribute to the superintendent of the Clark County School District. This episode's Heart of Vegas honoree.
Cox Las Vegas is proud to support our community through Cox Charities, which awards cash grants to numerous civic and nonprofit organizations. Working in partnership with United Way, Cox Charities includes a committee of employees who review grant applications and select the deserving recipients. This year, 28 organizations shared $168,000 in grants funded by Cox Charities. We're proud of our continued support of the community. To learn more about Cox Charities, visit www.coxcharitiesLV.com.
Madison. Did you know that more than 50,000 lost, unwanted, and abandoned pets will enter the Animal Foundation's lead shelter this year? Join me to become part of the solution to save and protect these innocent lives. Please adopt, spay, and neuter your pet, volunteer, or give a gift. My sincere wish is that there will be no homeless, neglected, or abused animals in our community. Let's give each and every one a fair chance at finding its forever home and all the love that comes with it. Right, Josephine?
Welcome back to Heart of Vegas. Here's a Las Vegas fun fact. Did you know that the Las Vegas McCarran International Airport is one of only 2 airports in the world to have slot machines? The slots offer visitors and locals a chance to test their luck one last time before leaving town. Now, back to Heart of Vegas. Brought to you by Cox Communications, connecting you to your community. Cox Channel 96 is proud to recognize the Clark County School District Superintendent, Pat Skorkowski, as the honoree of this episode of Heart of Vegas.
It's very exciting to be recognized for the work that our over 40,000 employees do every day with our students. So it's just great to be recognized and to let them know that this is because of them.
After graduating college in Oklahoma, Pat moved to Las Vegas to pursue a career as a teacher. And since coming here, he's dedicated the last 28 years of his life to the Clark County School District.
I started in the Clark County School District as a first grade teacher and literally have worked my way up every position between first grade teacher and now superintendent. I think what makes it so special is that we are still a small town district. Even though we are the 5th largest school district in the nation, it is still very much a small town. And that mentality and that feeling across the district is something that is pervasive in our schools. And so it just makes it a unique situation. When I talk to my counterparts in the large urban districts, their perspectives are very different than mine. They have each come into the community as a superintendent. They haven't worked in the district, and so it's a very unique situation for me. It's a very unique situation for being a superintendent in a large urban district, and it just makes it that much more special.
Overseeing the 5th largest school district in the country is a huge responsibility, one that Pat and his team don't take lightly.
Some of the projects that we are working on that we are really focusing on is our Pledge of Achievement and really looking at 6 goals that we've identified. We went through an extensive community process to build this strategic plan, and the successes that we're seeing are amazing. Right now our graduation rate has gone up 13% in just 4 years, which is huge when you're talking about literally having graduating classes of anywhere from 16 to 18,000 and increasing those high percentages. It's great. Advanced placement is another priority, getting kids into those rigorous classes. And we were just named the Advanced Placement Large Urban District of the Year by College Board. So there are great payoffs. The work is hard, long days, long hours, but it's important.
And even with an extremely busy schedule, Pat still finds time to visit classrooms all throughout the district on a regular basis.
That is the most important part of my job, is to make sure that I still stay connected with the kids and the classroom teachers. If I ever lose focus from that, then I think that it might be time to move on. The reason is that if you don't understand the challenges that those teachers and students are facing every day, you can't make the right decisions in this level. My personal motto is every student in every classroom, without excuses and without exceptions. And that drives every decision that I make, every meeting that I have, every focus of any community speech that I do. It is all about the students, and it is about the schools and the people in the schools that is going to make the difference. So I try to instill in central office that if it's not for the students and the teachers and the administrators and support staff in our schools, then we're not needed. We don't have jobs. So our job is to support everything that happens in that classroom.
Pat's passion for the Clark County School District and all the students within it is apparent in every single thing he does as superintendent.
I think the heart of Las Vegas is the people. I think being able to work with kids throughout the years that I did in education and to run into them in various locations around town is something that's just so special. To be able to have them come up and for me to be able to recognize them and hear all about the amazing things they're doing with their lives, it just brings joy to me, and it makes me work harder for the kids that we currently have in our district.
Thank you, Pat Skorkowski, for being an integral part of the Heart of Vegas. Thanks for watching this episode of Heart of Vegas. You can now join the Heart of Vegas community by liking us on Facebook. Visit facebook.com/Cox Heart of Vegas. We'd like to send a special thank you to all of the wonderful community members and organizations who made this episode possible, including the Las Vegas Philharmonic, the Springs Preserve, the Nevada Blind Children's Foundation, and the Clark County School District. To find out more about any of the organizations featured in this episode, please visit their websites. Heart of Vegas is brought to you by Cox Communications, connecting you to your community.